Aw, animals.
Orca whales harassing fishing boats for their catches. Fishermen out in Alaska are dealing with a new threat to their fishing hauls in the form of killer whales. Recently, the pods of predators have been observed targeting individual boats, even waiting hours for the fish to pile up. Once the fishermen are ready to call it quits, that's when tens of orcas swim in to swipe the catch. A fisherman interviewed by the National Post likened the shakedown to the methods of a biker gang. The fishermen who've been victimized by this thuggery say not only do they get stalked by the whales, they sometimes get chased back to port. Using electronic noisemakers was one disruption technique designed to shoo them away, but the orcas now hear it as a dinner bell. The fishermen also report they've seen more juvenile whales, which could mean the young ones are being taught how to go gangster at an early age. The increased incidence of whale thieving in the area is being attributed to populations rebounding, following a moratorium on commercial whaling in the 1990s. That and killer whales are socially advanced creatures as well as expert hunters, known to invent their own hunting strategies and share useful information amongst their pods. While there are no reports of wild orca whales killing humans, that doesn't mean they're opposed to roughing you up.
Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews.
Killer whales are smarter than your average whale. Great white sharks being hunted by killer whales. Great white sharks are widely seen as the ocean's most feared predator, but 3 separate incidents of their carcasses washing ashore in South Africa this past month would suggest that they too have something to fear: orca whales. Marine scientists dissecting these great whites have observed a fascinating pattern. The bodies, each wrought with orca bites, are missing the shark's liver. The organs were removed with almost surgical precision, offering us new understanding about the hunting behaviors and capabilities of the killer whale. Great white sharks traverse the ocean as solitary creatures, but orca whales, referred to as the wolves of the sea, are often known to hunt as a pod. When hunting sharks, orca whales use their powerful tails to create strong underwater currents from below, forcing unsuspecting great whites to the surface. The whale then stuns its prey. It then lifts its tail out of the water and swings down with tremendous force, unleashing a fatal blow. The great white shark's liver holds a high concentration of squalene, a steroid and hormone-producing compound attractive to killer whales. South Africa's recent influx of great white shark carcasses absent of a liver is leading scientists to believe the whales may be relaying this hunting strategy amongst their pod. The researchers think the sharks may have now become of interest to the orcas because their typical food sources are diminishing from pollution and climate change. In the 5 years prior to these findings, only 4 great white shark carcasses had washed ashore in this particular region.
Humpbacks interrupt orca pod's feeding frenzy. You never know what you might find when flying a drone over the ocean, but on May 1st, a group of marine biologists managed to capture this amazing footage of a pod of orcas trying to devour a gray whale carcass, but getting interrupted by a couple of uninvited dinner guests, 2 humpback whales. The orca pod has reportedly been on a killing spree in Monterey Bay over the past 2 weeks, targeting gray whales. 7 whale casualties recorded so far is oddly high for such a short time span, which caught the attention of the scientific community. The orca's blood spilling has also captured the attention of the 60 to 70 humpback whales in the area who've migrated early this year. Watch carefully and you'll see the humpbacks disrupting the orcas during mealtime. Orcas are the main predators of gray whales, but humpbacks have no interest in the prey, leading experts to wonder what their motives might be for pissing off their rivals. A show of altruism, perhaps, to protect the gray whales? Some experts suggest this behavior is more likely to be an instinctual attack response, given that orca pods often go after humpback whale calves. Or maybe the humpbacks are just jerks at the underwater cafeteria, jocks pushing food trays off the geek tables. Who knows? Whatever the reasoning, these whale wars going on off the California coast right now are probably doing wonders for the state's whale watching tour industry. Ah, nature.
Paddleboarder's GoPro captures killer whale close encounter.
After hearing about some orcas just down the beach, a man in New Zealand thought it would be a good idea to paddleboard 200 meters offshore towards the group of the giant black and white marine mammals that are known to feast on other mammals and whose nickname highlights their capacity to kill. There was a moment there where the whale, after briefly checking the man out, decided to go for a little sampler. Little damage was done though, fortunately. The encounter remained friendly and it seems the orca was merely curious about the paddleboarder. After a few more seconds checking the paddleboarder out, the orca swam back and joined the other orcas, diving diving for stingrays. The paddleboarder held his cool throughout the encounter, later admitting he was just a tad nervous during his brush with one of the world's most skilled predators. Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews.
Asshole humpback whale collides with jet skier.